All right, good afternoon. It's 3:18 p.m. on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. We're calling to order a meeting of the Real Estate Committee. We're calling this meeting to order remotely by the New York State Open Meetings Law. This meeting can be viewed on our webpage, or on our YouTube page. For listening and viewing. Today on the call participating from the committee, we have Chair of the Committee, Sam Wells, Charles Toohey, who is an alternate. We do not have a quorum. We are missing two members, Michelle Dorsey and Natisha Alexander. The staff, we have myself, Jason, Lillian, and Susan joining us today. On the approval of minutes, there's no new enforcements and compliances. I'll hold back on the dispositions momentarily, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to go right to number 6, old business. Just a brief update on the 90 vacant lots near Crumpkill Road in the Woodville area. So we're continuing to look at some documents there. I think that next month I'll have a recommendation for you on what we would do with those. I think it's going to be a harder thing to develop. I do want to have a call with Mark King at the Land Conservancy to see, what they might think of a property like that. But I think development is going to be very tough there, and we wouldn't necessarily be the ones looking to hold the land for conservation purposes. Although Sam probably, I don't know if the city would do with property like that, if they have any need to conserve that, or if the water department has any infrastructure that travels through that area that they'd want to secure. So that's about what's going on there.
Are you talking 90 lots?
Yes, on Crumpkill Road.
Yeah, and you were talking about the value is for conservation, right?
Well, that's probably what the value is right now, because we don't have enough property. There's,
Who owns it now?
Marathon Point LLC. I don't remember the individual's name. Do you remember?
His name is Connie. He goes by Connie. I think it's Constantine.
Yeah, no, what I mean is, when you mentioned the city, because it's the city of Albany, it seems like a PR opportunity for somebody that have, to give this away, or to have an auction, some kind of contest, or invite some environmental group in, and it's a question of whether we want to get in the middle of it and get the PR for that, or whether we just want to hand it over to the city so they can get the PR for it, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. We should definitely talk with the water department. They may have an interest over there.
There you go.
Would it be helpful for me to set something up along those lines, Sean and company?
Yeah. We don't want to do something without the city's knowledge,
Yeah.
And we want to score points with them. Hey, if you guys need it, let us know. Just like we would do with any town, Gilliland, the hill towns, or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if it helps them with. I don't know if it helps the city to have that property.
Oh yeah, Sam made the right thing. He's in the know about various departments. So I agree with you, Sam. If you want to start with the water department, and they'll say, "Oh no, we don't want that," but at least we checked, right?
Yeah, we can have that
Sam,
conversation. I can help set that up, Sean, if that's helpful.
That would be great. Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, because Sam, if it weren't you, I would probably call Martin Daly and ask him.
Yep. He's one of the folks I'm gonna reach out to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can talk to them, and and even if they're not sure, and we need to be a parking lot for a little bit of time, and not let that thing go unpaid and foreclosed on or something. Then I think getting the partners together to talk about that is going to be helpful. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. And we have documents too that we can share, but they're very basic. I mean, I think I think the planning department probably has more. I know we talked to Avi about it, and I have to go back and look at my notes to see if they ever found, or they were able to get the files out of an archive or something, because I think it was pretty old, so. All right, so then why don't we,
Just, Sean, just one more thing on that. I know, so the general, I mean, just what you guys have learned about it, there probably isn't much of that land that is easily developable, right?
half of it's deed restricted because of the wetlands.
Right. And then the other half that isn't, as I'm assuming that's along Crumbkill.
No, actually, the deed restricted side is gonna be the Crumbkill side of the property, which will be the south side of the property. The north side of the property is what's developable. The plan for townhomes never went anywhere. The zoning isn't gonna be appropriate for that. So you're left with somebody wanting to build, almost like an estate lot back there. They want city living, but they want to be away from people, They do
Right.
a large lot, single-family residential, but the driveway is gonna be pretty significant, and then getting the water and sewer back there too. I mean, it's the infrastructure cost of developing something like that. If this were a
Gotcha.
property outside of city limits, where there is no municipal water or sewer, and you could just drill a well and put in a septic field, it probably would work. But I think, with city services,
Right.
and the way the city expects things to be built so that it can rightfully,
Right.
protect,
You'd have to have a
protect-
buyer who these costs wouldn't be a big factor for, and it's gonna be hard to find that kind of buyer if you do it all.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Lillian. We'll walk through the new disposition, so this will be informational at this point, and we'll do another update to the board next week. Lillian?
There's one disposition this month for 540 Clinton Avenue in Albany. It's a vacant lot, and it's been in our inventory for 1,213 days as of today. The applicant number is 2026-0003, and this applicant resides in Albany and intends to build a multifamily building on the property. The asking price for this lot is $800, and their offer price was $1,200. The listed applicant income for the applicant is $15,320, but we received additional documentation that they have other sources of income available to develop the property. So we feel good about that. We're confident in their ability to execute this. And the applicant has purchased 2 prior land bank properties at 689 Clinton Avenue and 530 Clinton Avenue, which are both in compliance currently. If approved, the applicant will order land and architect plans and then proceed with the best use proposal adhering to city codes and planning board approval. The applicant supplied statements detailing additional available funds, and the staff recommendation is to approve this applicant, which we can certainly discuss at the board meeting, but let me know if you have any questions about this application.
Did we consider doing, what do we call it, where we hold the property while they develop those plans and get approvals? Just because, looking at
Yeah.
that lot and knowing that lot, a multifamily building is a little hard to imagine on that lot. It's not that big. Frankly, it's maybe the same size as our lot in Sheridan, where we're building the
Yeah.
tiny home.
It looks like the width of the lot is 24 and the length is 113, so it is quite a narrow lot. Would you suggest an option agreement for this applicant?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the phrase. That would be my suggestion, would be an option agreement, just because.
Yeah, they might,
Yeah, I-
might thinking
yeah.
that they could zero lot line, but I'm not sure they can. I don't know.
Okay, we were
Yeah.
wondering that ourselves. I think this is a good property and a good candidate for an option agreement, so we would be happy to proceed with that.
Good.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation, just because and does the candidate an applicant have a track record of building new construction? Because if they don't, then I wouldn't even consider selling it without an option agreement in hand first. And then they'd have to get all the approvals. I just want to, I don't want to just hand it off because it's a corner lot. It's sort of it's a very visible lot. Um, we just want to proceed with caution here. Obviously help the candidate out as much as possible, but they got to prove that they can actually, especially if they want to do a multifamily on that lot, that seems like a tall task to me.
That makes sense. I know that the applicant noted the land and architect plans after closing, so I think that an option agreement would be a good middle ground just to make sure that they have the due diligence period for that too.
Yep.
If we approach them in the next couple of days and then they really aren't feeling that, I do think that if we take the application, we usually do the enforcement mortgage and we just attach the application there. But we could work out a more detailed set of milestones, to see that through, and so that way we're not, I think that's one of the weaknesses of older enforcement mortgages, is there's just a lack of milestones. There's some general narrative, but not saying, in the 6 months, we'll pull building permits, and, in 12 months, we'll have started construction, and in 18 months, we'll be done.
I know in the past we've done a 2-year enforcement period for a similar property that needed more extensive pre-development work, so that could be an option for this too.
Yeah, as long as if they don't want to do an option agreement, I'm not sure
Well,
I'd be comfortable selling it to them, frankly, unless they have, unless you guys know unless they have a track record of building new. If this is their first new build, I struggle to see how this is, I need more details, basically.
Yeah, we'll take that back and see if they're agreeable to that. And then if not, we can,
Well, I'll give you a phone call.
we'll talk to the team here about
I know that's.
what we think would be some solid milestones for an enforcement mortgage. So that way, if if they don't meet the milestone, then, we can start moving down that path to get it back away from them. I understand what you're saying, Sam. We're just trying to,
find a way forward. Absolutely. Yeah, let's see if they want to do the option agreement first.
okay.
Okay.
All right. And if they don't, we'll see what we'll talk with the team about alternatives, and we'll bring that back to the board as well.
Yep.
And if not this month, then by next month we'll have an update.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Still no quorum, so no action to be taken today. We can hold the review and approval of minutes to next meeting, and then for the new dispositions, it'll be a resolution to the board. But it'd probably be helpful, Sam, if you and Charlie probably motioned and seconded on that as the committee members.
Happy to do so.
Get the option. So, but we'll update you on that with the agenda. I don't know if we'll have an answer by Friday. So if I do get it on the agenda, maybe we'll slate it for the agenda for next week. But if we don't get a solid resolution, we may just pull it back off.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
All right. Committee have anything for the staff?
Nothing on my end. Thank you for the update on Crumpkill. That's helpful.
Yeah, no, and thanks for reaching out, and just let myself, Lillian, Lynette know. One of us, all of us. That's fine, and we'll jump in where we need to.
Okay.
All right. No further business. Unless you have some, we can call this committee adjourned, and the Community Engagement Committee is at 4:00, half an hour away.
All right. I'm not on that committee, so I will see you all next week.
All right, Sam, thanks so much.
Okay.
Talk to you soon, Charlie.